Okay, guys, welcome to the Crest Core Real Estate Hour. I'm your host, Dean Harris. I'm with Douglas Skipworth. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm doing great.
Good. Douglas is, you've seen him now. I think I could probably stop saying this. Douglas is our co-founder, or no, you're our founder and our CEO and our leader and our go-to, man.
Yeah,
My
we're
crutch.
the principal broker hat on the brokerage.
Yes.
So that is a little bit of my role there, which we will talk
gonna
about.
talk about
It's a
today.
little teaser.
Last week we talked about the BRRRR strategy, how to work that program and how to navigate through that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a popular strategy right now.
BRRRR strategy, to me, I said it all the last week, no money down.
Yeah.
And real equity. Those to me that's BRRRR strategy.
Yeah.
So powerful.
So be sure to check that show out, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. I also want to tell you guys this. If you have any questions, email me, dean@crestcore.com. If you're looking to buy or sell, I don't ever really come on here and self-promote much, but I do want to let you know if you're looking to buy or sell anything in our market here in Memphis, I'll be happy to help you. And you can just email me and I'll reach out to you. So I represent buyers and we listings and sellers and all that all day long.
Yeah.
I try not to make this podcast about self-promotion, but since today we're going to do a little of that self-promotion, you and I are going to have a discussion about the brokerage.
Yes.
I have never in 5 years of doing this, it was radio show and then now podcast, I have never done one single show on myself, what I do, what I offer, what I'm good at, what we're not maybe as strong at. Like I haven't ever done one of those shows.
This
I
would be
thought
great.
Today would be a good one to get to know me a little bit better and know our brokerage and what we do. This will probably be the only show we do this. I don't know that we'll repeat this much unless our business model changes, but I wanted to make sure that everyone that follows this and listens to this understands exactly what
the
brokerage
I think that's
is
great
and
because
can do.
it's evolved.
Yes.
So
Evolved big time. So I guess the first step, we've got some notes here. I'm not extremely comfortable with this.
it's going to be fun. You're going to do all right.
I'm not extremely
You're gonna
comfortable,
be good.
but I will I'm just going to dive in. I do this a little bit on the phone, so I'll just dive right into it. I'm going to give a quick bio of me. 44 years old. I've got 3 children, 15, 13, and 13.
Mm-hmm.
I live in the area. I've lived in this entire area. I grew up here. I went to high school and college here in Memphis. I was licensed originally in 2001. I got my Mississippi license in 2002 to go with that.
Okay.
So we're right at
20 years.
Right on 20
as of
years.
today.
Yep. As of today, this year, we're 20 years. I started out in new construction. I actually had a builder come to me. I was working in the sports management division for a sports agent. That's what I really wanted to do when I was a kid. So there's 2 guys here locally. I was working for them in football operations. And then I had a builder approach me one day and ask me if I wanted to work there. He actually paid for me to get my real estate license to come and sell his products. It was Vintage Homes and Charles Morrison. I'll never forget it. So I started there. I did new construction. I sat in a model home. That was really popular. I sat in a model home. I was young, making great money and spending even greater money, not really knowing what was going on. I just thought that was the way it was. Well, 2006, 7 crept up on us. 2008 got here, and man, the model business went from sky high to nothing. Nobody coming in, nobody doing anything. So I got out of the new construction business and I started just general residential real estate.
Okay.
That was the absolute worst possible time to start selling general real estate, but I didn't have any choice. The model was dead.
Yep.
This was dead. So I actually, truth be told, I have my degree from the University of Memphis. I started applying for medical equipment jobs and other sales rep jobs.
Okay.
I thought I was going to have to get out of it. Then I began to do BPOs, which are broker price opinions, really quick. That is an opinion of mine of what a property is worth, a mini appraisal,
if you will,
not an appraisal.
It is not an appraisal, but
we clear that, but not an appraisal.
It's a valuation.
Yeah, all these big companies had portfolios of loans here.
That was huge.
They had no idea how to value them, and they didn't want to pay the appraisers. So, I built that business from a couple a week to 200 to 300 a month.
Right.
So that business saved me in the real estate game.
Yep.
I continued to do that for a couple of years. And in 2012, I began selling this product, and I came over and joined Crestcore Realty.
Yeah.
We were a very small company then.
Yep.
There was only 4 or 5, I think, staffed employees that were working with us, and we grew and sold, and I was learning the business and the products and how to navigate through wholesalers and this and that. So I had some decent success early on with Crestcore. My wife was licensed.
Yeah.
And she wanted to sell residential real estate, we thought at the time. So Crestcore is not a residential firm.
No.
So I left Crestcore and went to Keller Williams Realty for, I think it was a few months.
Right. Yeah. Something like that.
And I started the radio show, this program, and had on some guests from here from time to time, and began to have the conversation about what it would look like for me to come back and lead the team here, lead the brokerage team here. So we made that happen after 9 quick months. And I think it's important for everyone to hear, like, I never wanted to leave here. This was where I felt comfortable. But if you guys know, happy wife, happy life. I wanted to make sure that she had the right opportunity. If that's what she wanted to do, I made that sacrifice for the both of us so we could, grow together. But as it began to evolve at Keller Williams, and even at selling the investment deals there, and then the radio show started, we were drawn back to this
life
product.
happens, times change. It was an opportunity that presented itself to come back
and manage. It was a little bit different role, and I had never done anything or had any role like that, and I saw that as a challenge. I mean, I'm a competitor. I compete every day.
Yes.
Every hour before lunch, we have several competing things I do with myself mentally. It's just a way I challenge myself and push it. So I had some, conversations with my wife, with you, with some of the folks here, and it just made sense for us to do it. So early 2017, I came back to Crestcore in this role, and ever since then, it has been challenging, but it's been the most rewarding, satisfying part of my 20 years in real estate, these last 5 years. So we have really grown this brokerage from where it was at one point to where it is now. You and I are super proud of what we've done here, and
very, very proud.
I've never, there's, without going into the weeds of the logistics of how we set up our companies, the way that we're doing things and hire people, and the vision that you guys taught me was remarkable. And being able to look out and traction book and those things, that being able to look out and visualize what we want this to look like. It's amazing to see with the hard work of what it's come into. So, you've never seen a Facebook post for me that states how many deals we've closed and how much money I've made and how much revenue and volume and all this other nonsense. I just have never really got my head around it. This will be the only show we're going to talk about that kind of thing on.
Well, so I would like to, because people need to know.
People do need to know. So that's a little bit of my, 20-year history and how I got here and where I'm at here. So you and I have bounced this back and forth. If you have questions or if there's something that might be good for me to add, I'm happy to do that.
Well, you to help everybody understand how many houses have you represented?
Wow. In 20 years?
Yeah.
Wow. We have not since I'll just give you back up some numbers real quick. 17, 312. 7,500.
Yeah. Pushing 10,000.
10,000 deals
that you've helped people close, either as a list agent or the seller.
10,000.
What they call it? They call it the seller, but it's the buyer.
Yeah.
And so you are, if I heard you correctly, you are a traditional real estate agent in the sense of you work for a commission.
Yes.
You don't sell houses you own. You're not like a turnkey provider. You are representing buyers and sellers.
That's it.
So what you do is specialize in helping people find deals.
Yes.
Make offers and negotiate deals and close deals.
Yes.
And then you go a little bit above and beyond, because after they close them, you help them with the rehab and help them pass off to property management.
Yes.
If they are doing that. So to me, you're a service provider.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And I've always heard service providers are here to give their service in an accurate and timely fashion.
Yes.
Simply, a customer wants it right, and they want it right now. So that is what you are here to do.
Yeah.
And to me, getting it right means the experience you have.
That's exactly right.
And getting it right now is just the attitude as well as the team and the systems and processes. So on your experience, you've been doing this, you said 20 plus years. You've done new home construction, new home sales. How many new home sales did you do?
Douglas, I bet
dozens and dozens, hundreds.
Oh, hundreds.
Okay.
Over 5 or 6 years, I bet I sold 300 new construction
homes. So you've sold new construction homes. You helped buyers and sellers on owner occupant, what we call retail. Then you shifted into investment property.
Yeah.
So sourcing properties. How do you help people source properties, and who have you worked with? MLS, wholesaler, sending out properties.
Yeah.
So I guess, for example, how many properties do you think you've put in front of potential buyers?
Tens of thousands. We source 350 a month.
So
I send out 350 houses a month to my clients.
So the listener needs to know that you are sending hundreds of houses a month, thousands of properties a year, tens of thousands of properties over time.
Over a period of time. Yeah.
That you are going to get them all kinds of looks at properties.
Yes.
And I think I heard you say you did BPOs.
Yeah.
Broker price opinions, valuations. So you're sometimes recommending an ARV. So you are really, how many BPOs do you think you did?
300 a month for 3 or 4 years. How many is that? 10,000.
10,000.
10,000 BPOs.
So you did 10,000. You were paid for your valuation opinion.
It gave
10,000 times. So it helps you know how to value property. So not only are you sending out thousands of properties, you also know what the heck you're doing as far as valuing those properties.
It really helped me learn this business.
Yes.
And I didn't even know it at the time that I was learning this business.
Yep.
But doing those BPOs, I mean, like I had to pull comps. I had to visit them. Some I had to
drive by.
Some I had to go in. Some I was just a drive by. But I was in every single one of those neighborhoods.
So I was going to say, how many, I don't know how many zip codes are in Memphis. 40.
Yeah.
Let's say. How many of those zip codes have you done BPOs in?
100% of them.
Okay. So you're saying you've seen every zip code, you've been in it, you've valued properties in every zip code, you're sending out properties in every zip code for people to look at. So you know what this. So how many offers do you think you've represented people making? Investor
That's
clients?
another tens of thousands. I mean, like I just had a meeting last week, and we sent out last week alone 77 offers.
So this is call that 500 a month.
500 a month,
or if you call it 350 a month, somewhere between there.
4,000
so that's
a year.
another 4,000 or 5,000 a year times many years. So again, somebody is saying, "Hey, how do you help me?" Well, you find me a heck of a lot of deals, and you know how to value them, and you can make offers. You're making 75 offers a week, 100 offers a week.
Yeah.
So you can help them make offers.
Yes.
And do those offers always end up in a closed sale?
No, I wish.
Yeah.
No, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that's true. Good. Yeah.
No,
you wish
I
more than
wish.
that. But so one thing I hear is that you're able to represent people, and they can take a look through an inspection period, let's say.
Yeah.
So how many, I guess most people know an inspection period. Typically when you put when you help somebody make an offer, you help them find a property. Occasionally they'll probably come to you with a deal, and that you can write it up, make that offer. They'll put an inspection period of 15 days. We've talked about this kind of stuff before.
Yeah.
How many inspection periods have you done? I guess every offer.
Same thing.
Say thousands.
Same thing.
Thousands of inspection periods that you've run through and coordinated the inspection.
Communicating with both sides on. Yes. I mean, it's thousands and thousands and thousands.
So you are expert at helping people find deals, make offers, go through that inspection period, negotiate if they don't quite see during that inspection period what they want.
I hesitate on the word expert because that's just me talking about myself. But what I will tell you is that how about experience? There is nothing, in my opinion, that I haven't seen some sort of. right? There is no house or no situation or something that I haven't at least caught a glimpse of before and can see that and understand it. I just dealt with wetlands today, right?
Yeah.
We're dealing with wetlands on another part. Like,
right.
How many people deal with that? Well, I did with BPOs and different things that I've heard that and seen how you deal with wetlands.
And you're doing this all day, every day.
Every day.
How long has it been since you haven't had a listing, an active listing, or an offer
in a month?
No. Like if you like, it's almost like it's like a store that's open 24/7, right?
Big
like
time.
Since I've known you, you've always had a listing.
Always.
And you've always had something under contract for a
I
buyer.
couldn't tell you the last time that I've been through 30 days when I'm just twiddling my thumbs.
Because you have no listings and you have no clients that you're representing.
No.
I mean, probably 2001, maybe 2002 when you're just getting started.
Had
but
to
even
have been the last time.
Like you're doing this like literally all day, every day.
Yes.
Like 24/7. You've always got something either listed.
Yeah.
And now you've always got listings and you've always got people who you're representing that they're in some part of that process. Either you're sending them deals, they're making offers on deals, they've got it under contract, they're in an inspection period. So after inspection period, and everybody's agreed, then it comes to closing. Yeah. We kind of said that. Like, how many closings have you been through?
10,000.
How many?
I don't know. I mean, like 10. I mean, we've done maybe not quite that many. 300. We've done 350 plus closings the last 4 or 5 years. So whatever that math is,
that's
for 4 or 5 years.
16, 2,000.
So
probably.
I would say 3,000 to 5,000 closings that we've been a part of.
And how many different closing attorneys have you worked with?
20, 25, everybody. I don't know that there's anybody in the city, and if they're new, that I haven't. They might be new.
How about other agents?
I feel like I know them all, but there's
but
they
you've got offers from hundreds of agents,
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
So you're used to working with other agents. You're working with closing attorneys and closing title companies,
and it adjusts too, Douglas. You just said a second ago, like, hey, you're working with buyers and you always have listings. Well, if you remember when we came back in 17, we were dealing with 135 listings. Right. I had 135 houses listed that me and the team were monitoring and selling and actively working. Now, we didn't have as many buyers. That market changes. Well, the market has changed a little bit. So now I've got a ton of buyers, which is great. And I think we're 12 or 13 active listings.
But you got some under contract.
Oh, there's another
like
15.
50,
so there's 30 or so that I'm actually 30 or 40 or so that I'm actually working. But active 12 or 13 or 14 now are active, and that's the constant battle. So yes, I also want to make sure that it's not, hey, Dean's a locomotive train and there's no flexibility with Dean. Like, we'll adapt and adjust to whatever the market brings. I actually think that's what I am good at. If we're going to talk about that, then I got caught once in new construction. And
just to your point, maybe as we shift that, what I was saying, because I'm going back from that frame of, hey, people want it right and they want it right now. People want that, they want it accurate. Yep. They want that accuracy that the experience brings, because you've seen everything, done everything, you're doing it. But then they also want the timeliness, right?
Yep.
So they want it right now. So maybe that is where you're talking about, hey, we adjust, and hey, we've got a team, and hey, I've got systems. And so
we try to turn into a chameleon. A lot of people have heard me say that, and it's a little cheesy, but I try to turn into a chameleon for my investors. Whatever their goals are, become my goals. If a new investor calls me, Douglas, and says, hey, I want to learn, I don't have one way I tell you how to do this. Every house is a deal if you buy it right. Yeah. Every single one, right? The point is that this is not a one-track mind, and I don't want to disparage any other market or product, but if you call it a turnkey provider, that's the only way to buy. If you call a multifamily specialist or Grant Cardone, the only thing to do is multifamily or die, right? Commercial's the same way. Everything else is the same way. I think that's restrictions on an investor, and I don't have that. I wouldn't want that as an investor. So I don't put, I try to be not everything to everybody. I'll refer out commercial business, or I'll refer out a residential retail thing. I don't do those. But multifamily, single family, maybe investment properties.
It needs representation.
It needs some type of representation, buyer or seller
representation. I call it traditional real estate brokerage. It's what everybody knows, a commissioned real estate agent. Again, you're not buying, owner agent, flipping and selling, trying to unload your properties on the public. You're trying to understand people's goals, and find houses for them. You're in that service business. You're going to do it right, and you're going to do it right now.
It's a true form of representation. I don't have any other agenda other than
agency is the legal term that you study. That's why we're called real estate agents.
And I don't think it's any coincidence. So, I started off young in the representation mode working for a sports agent. Like I love the representation model of, hey, I'm helping defend or explain or represent this person's thoughts and what they're wanting to do, and let's put them down. And I think it's my job between the two to broker that deal and come. We've said this before. In my opinion, if I can get both parties, a little upset about the deal or a little melancholy about the whole thing, I think it's a good deal. If the seller's like, forget it, yes, I'll sign it, and the buyer is reluctantly like, I guess so. I mean, I feel like then I'm bringing at least
both sides win.
Both sides kind of win, or they kind of lose a little, or whatever it may be. That where I don't want is one side throwing a parade and the other side crying in tears in a bucket. That's what I
agree. You want it to feel more like a collaboration, even though it feels kind of like a compromise.
Yeah,
where you both kind of give up a little bit. So I agree with that.
So one other thing we could move to is a little bit about the brokerage activities and actions.
Okay,
and and I can run through this quickly, but we source properties and I send them out with a ton of information.
Yes.
And if you're listening to this and you've seen our emails, you know that's a ton of information: bed and bath count, market rent comps, ARV comps, taxes, estimated insurance,
estimated repairs,
repairs based off what I see on those photos. I give the 2-minute or 3-minute clip of the zip code breakdown on every house.
Location.
So there's a little bit more that goes out to that. There's instructions on how to make offer. You come back in and send that offer in. The team is here. They pick that up. They write that offer for you. They get it to you for signatures. When it comes back, I then present that offer to the source or the listing agent, negotiate those terms, figure out where we're at. Let's say we get under contract, right? Now here's where the part between me and a regular real estate agent is going to differ. I've got 2 licensed contractors that work on my houses, my personal homes. Yeah. I trust them thoroughly. I've got insurance agents that we work with here that provide an umbrella policy for all of our clients because Crestcore Property they trust Crestcore Property Management and they put that umbrella on there. Okay. Title companies, we close with local title and April McDowell on every single one of our deals because I know her and trust her. She never
work
leaves
with
my
Will
clients.
Griffin at Griffin, Clift, Everton, and Maschmeyer.
If we have legal matters and closings, we go to Will Griffin.
Yep.
He's been a partner of ours and a real backbone of information and
talking
support.
To him every week.
Every week we talk to Will. So Will Griffin, who else is involved with this? I've got banks and lenders and other people that I refer to that I work with myself that are used to working with investors. So then it comes up time to inspect the home, right? So we're going to either do a general contractor or we're going to do a licensed home inspector, or if the investor chooses, we'll do both. 90% of my clients do not hire the licensed home inspector because 2 reasons. They're going to give you way too much info. They could probably scare you off every property. Yep. But 2, they're not going to give you a price in order to fix these things that they find. The general contractor is going to go out there and the things that you would stop the house for anyway, he's going to see structural, mold, something that's the whole thing's caving in.
Yeah.
He's going to stop that from me doing it. But he'll go in there and give me pictures and a rehab bid. Okay. Now we're at the rehab bid stage. We've got that number back. And the investor and I connect again. We got our sales price, our rehab amount, and our ARV. Does this still make sense? Dean, and sometimes it doesn't. Dean, we budgeted for 10 grand in rehab. There's 20. We need to get a price reduction or we have to cancel, right? Yeah. I'm not afraid to tell clients to cancel.
No.
We close 25 to 28 average a month. We cancel 10 a month. I hate giving those stats out, but it is what it is. Yeah. I'm not going to be afraid to say cancel it. Some other agents might even use that against me. I've heard that before. Dean cancels deals. Yeah, I
because he represents the buyer.
Yeah, I sure do. Yeah. And I'm not embarrassed of that. I'm not afraid of that to talk about that. I certainly do cancel because for one, we're under contract every month with 35 or 40 every single month. We don't close that many because not every one of these are deals. Yeah. We go out to the street and there's a trap house and drugs and gangs and you just don't want to be on the street, right? Or the rehab amount doesn't match or whatever it is. Let's say we get it to match. Okay. Now we're good. We have the rehab amount is tolerable, our sales price, and our ARV. We're going to move to close it.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to close at April's office. After we close, we're going to connect you again with the rehab manager. You're going to pay that rehab manager 50% of the total rehab. Okay. He's going to go in and complete the rehab job. When it's finished, you're going to pay that other 50%. Here's something I wanted to make sure I got out. There's a practice in Memphis or in even any other cities that it's happening that is costing investors some money and they're not aware of it. And I'll tell you why. They get to become aware of it. When you go take your property to a property management company, and we always say, I'd love for you to manage here. It's much easier for me to help you manage the manager. Yep. When you do that here, not every investor does, some don't. When you go to integrate the property with your property management company, they take a checklist out to that house and they have certain things that they have to go through in order to manage the home. Yep. The most popular things that are missed: smoke detectors, carbon monoxide, fire extinguishers, outlets that don't work, switches that don't work. Those are all things that any property manager is going to go check. I jump ahead of that and hand that checklist to our contractors. Yep. The worst thing in the world is to go do a $15,000 rehab, turn it over to property management, think everything's great. They come back to you with $1,500
$1,500 of minor repairs.
Of minor repairs and things that you have to do. You have to do it, or they're not going to take it to manage it because of the liability and all the things I just mentioned. So we include that with our contractors.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a super important thing because and of course we learned the hard way, right?
Of course.
Somebody came back and I was like, we got to stop that. So we include that in there. Those are some different things that are going to separate our representation and someone else that doesn't do investment deals all day long. So now we've closed, you've paid your rehab. He's working through there. This is another thing. Once the rehab is completed, your contractor is going to want the remaining balance. But you aren't sure if it's good or not. Right?
Dean, go out there and see it.
Here's where that's a mistake. And I'll tell you why. Some people say you just don't want to go out there. I don't mind going out to houses, but here's why you don't want to do that. I source the property for you. It's our contractors we're referring to you. And then I'm going to be the one that goes out there and tells you it's right.
It looks great, man.
That's where investors go wrong. I'm clearly going to tell you what the true thing is because that's me and what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But investors in California that don't live, they need
a third party.
Trust, but verify.
That's right.
They need the third party. The third party likely needs to be your property manager, right? Yeah. They need to go out there. You hand them that list of the rehab and say, hey, please run through here and check through this. All's done for me. Take a few snapshots. Every property manager has to do that when they integrate the property anyway. Get that person to verify that. Once they do, then let's send that last 50%. You're secure and you're not leaning on one person to tell you everything. No, that's where investors go wrong.
And I think that it's everything you just said speaks to your expertise or your experience, your skill, your knowledge, the time you've done this, but also the systems you've put in place, the teams you've put in place, the tools they have to get it done right now.
Yes. So it's 100% set up for an out-of-state investor.
Yes.
100%. We go wrong. We go wrong with local guys.
And when you try and go outside of your system, but the system works really well to source deals, make offers, do inspections, get rehabs, go to closing, integrate, finish rehabs, integrate them into property management. If that's what somebody wants to do, you and the brokerage are set up to help them do that.
Yeah. And do it every day.
And that is whether it is and that's kind of where I want to talk on the experience stuff of whether it's a brand new novice, never bought a house, just coming off of bigger pockets or being introduced from a friend who's doing it, or a buyer in town who's coming to town, who's bought all over the country, hedge funds, private equity groups, you name it, you can help them.
And what's funny is I enjoy working with each one of those in different ways. I enjoy telling the new guy all the fun stuff that you tell new guys, and they're just sitting there just like, wow. Then I come over to the seasoned veteran guys, and I feed from them. Yeah. If they've bought 500 homes, I haven't. Like I feed off of that person, and I try to get something from them from a general perspective. Like coming into Memphis, I'm going to be their guy, but learning from them is key.
But I think you said it earlier when you talked about wanting to do agency. Like you just like helping people buy or sell houses, whether it's their very first investment or whether it's their 10,000th property.
Yes, because there's some of those.
Because there literally are some of those. And you are going to help those people
Yes.
And they're going to get the service that they want in a timely manner, quick, with a smile.
The biggest thing, sometimes with a smile. The biggest catch is the products, right? The
Yes.
biggest thing for this, and I, forget all the numbers and all the glitz and glamour that's part of this. When you get down to the actual root of it, I provide solid investment opportunities, and then on the backside of that, I provide you the most honest advice I can give you. You can go back, and I've challenged investors to do this. Go back on the original videos of this. There's still some on there. Go back and I've been saying the same thing and the same, message to my clients since I started doing this.
Yep.
I'm an investor. I want to be treated like one. We don't, we don't sign buyer's agency agreements. That's a huge thing until we write contracts.
Right.
You have to write contracts.
Yeah.
But even in there, on the bottom of it, on the special stip, this agreement only applies to this 123 Main Street, this property. Why would I want to limit somebody that they can't receive houses from somebody else? Go get whatever you want.
Yeah.
If I'm upset about that, I need to get you more houses. That's on me. And that's what a lot of other agents don't understand. Like, you're never going to get a buyer's agency agreement from me until we write a contract, and it's only going to be for that one house. And that's the legal part for the Tennessee Real Estate Commission. I have to do that. So, but before there, I'll prove my worth to you. Other agents don't want to do that. They want to put you on this MLS thing, sign it up and click enter. And then every time something comes in your price range, not even in your area, in your price, it goes to you.
Yeah.
So you're just getting a house that's on the MLS that you could find on Zillow or find.
And they're saying that they're going to get paid whenever you buy anything from anybody.
And they're saying they get paid no matter what.
Right. And you're saying, hey, go find your own deals if you have to. It's on me to get you the deal. If I want to get paid, I need to give you the deal. Yeah. And that's great. And that's why you work with wholesalers. You work with any source you can to get properties.
All kinds, insurance agents, banks, less banks now because the market's good, but that'll come back. Investors that have mismanaged, investors that are retiring, whatever it may be, any off-market source we go and get and have for years. And it's,
as well as MLS. You send it from any and everywhere.
I don't care.
You're helping people find, because you enjoy helping people.
Yeah.
Dispose of houses, list them and sell them if they need to, for whatever case, or buy them.
Yes.
So
this is great. Any more questions for me?
No, man.
This is over.
There you go.
I don't mind it.
They wanted people to see what you do and how you do it.
Yeah.
And you do that very well.
Well, I appreciate you coming and spending 45 minutes. This is all info
great.
so I appreciate you doing that. If you guys have any questions about me or the process or anything, shoot me that email, dean@crestcore.com. And I guess I don't have to remind you that I do help you buy and sell anything.
That's right.
Shoot me an email, dean@crestcore.com. We'll see you next time.